At first, I did believe that, but then I heard
You
his
believe
story, and
for
none
sure
of
I'm
it. Shut up!
wrong.
I am talking.
Hold on. Let's be respectful.
Coming to paternity court with other folks to defend your case can only mean one thing, and we are about to find out what that is in Mr. Webb and Ms. Cole's case.
Mr. Webb, you and your girlfriend say there's no chance whatsoever that you fathered the defendant's 6-month-old daughter, Majestic. You say your evidence will shock this courtroom. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Webb is in paternity court with his girlfriend of 3 years, claiming the DNA test result will shock everyone, like anyone was there when the deed was done. Anyway, Ms. Cole is also present in court with her mother as she claims Mr. Webb is denying paternity of the child to save his 3 years relationship.
All right, so Mr. Webb, how can you be so certain you are not this child's biological father?
I never had sex with her, Your Honor.
Well, that would rule you out. You've never had sex with her?
No,
Yeah, he did.
she's a liar. She's crazy.
Ms. Cole, we've heard a lot of defenses in this courtroom. Rarely have we ever heard that you've never had sex with her.
She's absolutely crazy.
Huh? How come Mr. Webb never had sex with Ms. Cole, but he's in paternity court? That's confusing. Ms. Cole says Mr. Webb did have sex with her when he was at her house. Ms. Cole is so sure as she even mentioned the date it happened.
Mr. Webb, this is strange. What was the nature of your relationship?
We never had sex or anything. We were just friends. We would chill out. That was it.
You were never intimate with her in any way.
I never stayed in her bedroom. I stayed out on the couch.
That's a lie.
And on top of that, I was only there for a
not
week and a week and a half.
That's not true.
It's getting heated in there. Mr. Webb says Ms. Cole is crazy, like she's a delusional person that is just trying to make things up. However, Ms. Cole says that's a lie, and they did in fact get down together. Mrs. Cole's mother also enters the conversation with a victim attitude towards Mr. Webb, talking about how her family took care of him. Okay, ma'am.
So, Ms. Cole, you said you and your husband were taking care of Mr. Webb?
Yes, and my grandkids and anybody else that needed.
You're a liar.
You
You're
are a liar.
You are a liar. Everything that you're saying. She was on the phone with me 5-6 times a day.
Why was Mr. Webb living with you?
He's a punk bum. We
Honor, I would-
supplied everything for them. Their food, everything.
Damn, that came out of nowhere. Mr. Webb's girlfriend is not taking it easy with Miss Cole. Mr. Webb claimed his girlfriend knew he was at Miss Cole's house, and he claimed his girlfriend knew he wasn't the type to do what he's being accused of. That's a good level of trust, but Miss Webb's girlfriend said she doubted it for a minute before she shook it off and chose to believe her man again.
I never knew they were talking.
We didn't even know that
I
they were
never knew
together.
that. That's all we had.
5 or 6 times a day. How did you not
She's the
know?
one that called me with his friend.
She had heard her voice in the background numerous times. How does that make sense?
So you're over there hanging out, partying, because you're friends with Miss Cole.
He had multiple friends there when they had the party.
And what you're saying is you never ended up being intimate with her, like
No.
she's saying.
All right,
No.
where did you sleep?
Mrs. Cole claimed Mr. Webb slept in her bed one particular night, but Mr. Webb denies that as he claimed, he slept on the couch. It looks like Ms. Cole doesn't have a clear picture of how things went down at her house. They were partying all week. Ms. Cole's parents' house has got to be the party house of the year.
But just hinting, not actually saying it.
All right.
Okay, so here's the second one. This is what came next. I told her, I said, I'm not trying to be mean, I just want this to end. Because I'm not a mean person, I'm not a hateful person. But when it comes to her and what she's put me through with the lies the last year, I can't take it no more. She had sent me a message back saying, by what the doctor is saying, the due date matched to when we blanked, that's all I'm going by.
Saying an ultrasound 3D photo resembles a full-grown adult? Okay, maybe there's a tiny chance that Ms. Cole is out of it. It's not certain if Mr. Webb had a thing with Ms. Cole yet, but Ms. Cole seems to really want to put this baby on Mr. Webb. That's a good plan, but Mr. Webb's girlfriend would fight tooth and nail for that to never happen.
Did he ever acknowledge that he was the father?
He admitted to my
Oh,
dad.
you are a liar.
He admitted to my cousin that he was the dad.
What do you think, Mr. Webb, is Miss Cole's motive if you say you've never slept with her? Why manufacture all of this?
I think she's obsessed with me. She's obsessed with me or something.
No.
I don't know what it is. I've been trying to figure out
There's
for the
one
last
reason
year.
why I'm here.
Her
To
dad
know
is.
for sure he's the dad.
It has to be an obsession for real. Ms. Cole even had another sexual partner, and she says the baby looks just like Mr. Webb. There's another potential father, but it doesn't seem like Ms. Cole is ready to explore that option. Mr. Webb says he's Puerto Rican, and that baby doesn't look like one.
She made herself believe these lies that she's telling.
But Mr. Webb says he never slept with you.
And he did,
But he did.
for sure, yeah. It was a lousy, like, 20 minutes. I'm so sorry, Your Honor.
Okay, there was 2 witnesses there that said that they never had sex at the party.
The night that she said that we had sex or whatever, 2 of our friends were there. One of them were her family members, and even he said that.
There are even witnesses that say Ms. Cole and Mr. Webb didn't get intimate. Maybe that's not enough evidence to convince everyone nothing happened, but it is worth noting. And describing Mr. Webb's winkers? Okay, it's time to find out if these two really did have a lousy 20 minutes like Ms. Cole stated, or Mr. Webb is right about Ms. Cole making things up all along.
Mr. Webb, you are not her father.
Oh, yeah, you're crazy. You need to go
Webb.
to a mental hospital.
Ms. Webb.
There, get her there, get her there.
Miss-
Anyone's family should be off limits for a man or woman, even if he or she wants to step outside of their marriage or relationship. But some folks think that's the best place to seek solace when something is missing in their relationship. It never ends well, just like in the case of Ms. Douglas and Mr. Jones.
Ms. Douglas, you are suing the father of your 5 children for a paternity test. You claim at times the defendant, Mr. Jones, doesn't treat your daughter, Cheyenne, as his own, and that he has always been suspicious he's not her biological father. You admit that you kept a secret from him and you cheated on him with his cousin, but say when that secret finally came out, he immediately denied fathering your daughter.
Ms. Douglas agreed to have slept with Mr. Jones's cousin, but Ms. Douglas is affirmative that Mr. Jones still fathered the child. He's doubting her paternity. However, Mr. Jones said that's impossible, and he's even tired of working 2 jobs to fend for his family, just to be welcomed with his woman laying with his cousin. That's a nasty work right there.
Do you believe the defendant has reason to doubt paternity of Cheyenne?
Yes, Your Honor, I do, because I did make a mistake. I slept with his cousin, and the condom had broke. But before that, Tyrone was downstairs sleeping with my cousin. He was still having sex with his baby's mom. He was doing him basically, but yeah, I did.
That was a mouthful.
Oh, Common, sleeping with each other's cousins? There's gotta be another way to get rid of your sexual desires, but Ms. Douglas and Mr. Jones would need a handbook on that. Ms. Jones claims she doesn't believe in cheating, but Mr. Jones does, and that was what pushed her to do it too. Okay.
I met Tyrone actually at a party that happened downstairs in my building. I met him and his cousin almost the same night. Me and Tyrone got together the first night we watched movies. The next night we did have sex, but we weren't together. We just had sex, and after that he went back to his other baby's mom. And then I met his cousin, and I slept with his cousin, but we weren't together. So yeah, I slept with his cousin, but after that I found out I was pregnant. I called him and I told him I was pregnant.
Ms. Douglas is not holding back as she keeps reminding the court she slept with Mr. Jones's cousin. Mrs. Douglas gives Mr. Jones his flowers that he's been a good dad since the week before the birth of the baby, but there seems to be many kids in this equation from both Ms. Douglas and Mr. Jones' sides.
What did you feel, Mr. Jones, when you heard Ms. Douglas say, "I'm pregnant and it's yours"?
I wasn't too sure about it when she told me, but I'm like, okay, when she did tell me, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna step up and do what I gotta do.
So you did try to support her through this?
Yeah, I actually did.
We are still stuck on Ms. Douglas giving an account of her sexual encounter with Mr. Jones's cousin. Ms. Douglas was going to deny it forever, but it seems she got tired when her daughter was 2 years old. Mr. Jones sniffing his cousin cologne was on another level. That's some detective work right there. Somebody better hint Mr. Jones to join the academy.
I mean, I cared, but it was just to the point to where when I met her, she was pregnant by another guy who was actually incarcerated at the time, but she was also messing around with another guy who wasn't the father of the child she was pregnant with.
Was it any part of you that was excited? Did you?
I mean, it was, because I actually was there.
There's a whole lot of messing around going on here. Ms. Douglas messing around with everybody and anybody. There's also Mr. Jones caught up in another woman's web who is trying to prove she controls him and shove that in Ms. Douglas' face. Interesting.
I recall saying you had 5 children.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's as if you're speaking about this thing like it's, oh yeah, because I was with my other child's mother and I just went on to Chicago and then he went there. And, I mean, you all 5 children potentially together.
It has got to be some baby-making factory business like Judge Lawrence said. No committed relationship and 5 babies have been made? Oh, Lord have mercy. Hopefully those children won't grow up traumatized. These two don't even look like they love each other. They just want to have fun for 5 minutes and then boom, a baby. Till baby number 5. That's pathetic.
You two supposed to be trying to be in a relationship right now?
We was, but yesterday he was texting a girl on Facebook, writing a girl on Facebook. We supposed to be together. We're working on us for our kids, and you're writing somebody on Facebook? And now he's trying to say, well, now he said, I don't even know if I should get a DNA test for the twins because you had sex with somebody when you were pregnant with my twins. When I was pregnant with your twins. So that how is that their baby?
Just when we thought we've heard it all. Ms. Jones loves anything on skirts or jeans preferably. These cousins also don't have any dignity because when Mr. Jones and Ms. Douglas are ready to do something stupid, the cousins are always readily available.
How in the world can you potentially have 5 children with this woman and be so irresponsible and disrespectful that you continue to sleep with her
Favorite cousin? No way Ms. Douglas is this grown, and she just said that was her favorite cousin. These two grown-ups don't seem like they are ready to be in a committed relationship, but the paternity of a child is at stake here, so we will just deal with that one.
Mr. Jones, you are not
She knew this from the beginning. Now I'm embarrassed, gotta face public humiliation because she didn't want to be honest before we came here.
Men are constantly denying the paternity of children, while women are constantly claiming these men have fathered their children. One thing is certain, one of them ends up being right, while another ends up being wrong. Is it going to be Mr. Wiggins that will be wrong and Ms. Davis will be right, or vice versa?
Mr. Wiggins, you are here in court to prove that you are not the father of Ms. Davis' child, Aubrey Wiggins, and say today's results will change your life. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Davis, you claim that Mr. Wiggins knows he's the father of your child and is trying to deny her because he already has 3 children and doesn't want to step up and be a father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Wiggins says he's sure he isn't the biological father of Ms. Davis' child, and the result in court will change his life, while Ms. Davis says Mr. Wiggins is just trying to get off the hook easily because he already has 3 children and he's not ready to add another child to the family. Mr. Wiggins is also willing to reunite his family and have a happily ever after life.
So, Mr. Wiggins, why do you say today's results will change your life?
As a result of being alleged the father of Aubrey, I lost my wife and I want to regain my family.
You lost your family? You were married at the time? Explain.
Yes, Your Honor, I was married and me and my wife went through a separation due to a rough patch. Through my separation, I became a little antsy, I guess, for lack of better terms.
2.5 years affair while being married? Mr. Wiggins' former wife would have thrown some punches if she was in court right now. Mr. Wiggins claimed it was just for sex, and he didn't plan for it to be as long as it did. Are we supposed to applaud him now for that confession? Mr. Wiggins was married and he wasn't coerced into the affair. He shouldn't be blaming Ms. Davis for the consequences of his actions.
So, Ms. Davis, you ended up starting a relationship with a married man. He was separated at the time.
Right.
Did you think you were in a relationship?
I was. I knew I was in a relationship.
You did?
2.5 years we was together.
I was telling her what I felt I needed to tell her to ultimately get what I wanted.
Mr. Wiggins mentioned he was telling Ms. Davis what he needed to tell her what she needed to hear so as to allow him get through and have what he wanted. Well, what Mr. Wiggins wanted was just sex. That's weird because he was getting the same sex from his wife. Mr. Wiggins betrayed his wife and he now desperately wanted the DNA result to come back negative to be able to fix his marriage.
How did your wife find out?
Miss Davis told her that she was pregnant and that she wasn't going anywhere. She inboxed her on Facebook, which
Right.
caused a lot of havoc in my life.
You wasn't gonna be a man.
Did it cause the havoc or did you cause the
He
havoc?
did, right.
Mr. Wiggins talking about Ms. Davis wreaking havoc in his life, like he didn't bring that upon himself. Having a 2.5-year relationship with another woman outside of your marriage is enough havoc. Valentine's Day, and Mr. Wiggins still lays with Ms. Davis? Okay. Ms. Davis also seems to have some sketchy moves going on. Something about her talking to another man.
Yes, we did intend to plan Valentine's Day together. However, prior to us going to the hotel, we got into a bit of an altercation. I don't remember the exact details. And my family member seen her be picked up by another guy
That was my cousin.
that
I
she
wasn't
claims
picked.
to be her cousin.
Maybe Ms. Davis does not have the right to be having a thing with another man since she claims she was in a committed relationship with Mr. Wiggins. But it's funny how Mr. Wiggins is angry when he left his own wife to be by herself on Valentine's Day. Ms. Davis may be wrong, but Mr. Wiggins doesn't have the right to be upset. He's also a cheat.
Your Honor, I'm no Einstein or anything, but I'm educated enough to know my own birth date. This is the birth certificate. Apparently she knew my name. This is the birth date that's listed on Aubrey's birth certificate.
Mr. Wiggins says he's not Albert Einstein, but he's sure as hell he's not going to forget his birthday to the point of putting a wrong date on the baby's birth certificate, noted Mr. Wiggins. Ms. Davis argued that he definitely said the wrong date and the mistake is on him, so he can't possibly use that against her.
I didn't need any more children.
He
I
wanted
didn't need any
me
more children.
because of my body, and he wanted a baby from me.
That
to
is all
keep
I
me.
wanted, Your Honor.
Yes, you
Her
did.
because of
Oh my goodness.
From day
So
one,
you're
that's-
saying now he's a married man and he's asking you to have his child.
From day one.
Someone needs to tell Ms. Davis those are the lies men tell. Mr. Wiggins saying he wanted Ms. Davis to have his babies was just a lie to get in her pants. Just like Mr. Wiggins said, he saw the relationship as a sexual relationship and nothing committed. Can't blame Ms. Davis though, probably she thought she was in love.
Are you all still involved?
No, we're not, Your Honor. No, we're not, Your Honor.
At the same time, two different answers.
Right.
Exact same time.
Last night? Mr. Wiggins is a joke at this point. His lies are so obvious. Trying to work on your marriage and still slept with the mistress before coming to court? That's crazy. Maybe it's time to know if Mr. Wiggins will be able to fix his former marriage, which doesn't stand a chance, or if he's stuck with Ms. Davis forever.
Mr. Wiggins, you are the father. Miss Davis, what are you feeling?
I've been going through this for a long time, like between him and his wife, like.
It's his child.
Both parties in paternity court wishing for the same outcome is not common, but Ms. Salvo and Mr. Gonzalez seem to have the same thoughts concerning the result. So where did it all go wrong?
Ms. Salvo, you claim that a relationship with the defendant, Ms. Gonzalez.
Yes, Your Honor.
Today you say you desperately want to prove Mr. Gonzalez is her biological father because it will break your heart to grow up without a dad.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Salvo would give anything for the result to come back positive, indicating Mr. Gonzalez is the biological father of her child. On the other hand, Mr. Gonzalez is also wishing the result comes back saying he's the father, but Ms. Salvo has been so unfaithful to the point that he had a thing with multiple men and even Mr. Gonzalez's best friend.
How involved has Mr. Gonzalez?
Your Honor, I can't stand him. He knows Amaya, but he refuses to take care of him. I've never, ever had sex with any.
Ms. Salvo claims she loves her men black. That's cool, but here's Mr. Gonzalez saying it wasn't a drunken mistake, as their copulation more than 6 times, that's no mistake if it's true. Mr. Gonzalez is Hispanic, as he mentioned, and Ms. was willing to go on and on with him not once or twice, but 6 times. Maybe Ms. Salvo had a thing for Mr. Gonzalez in particular.
Tell me about the nature of this relationship.
I knew my mom. I knew Ashley. So we will go over, we'll drink, we'll watch movies and stuff. It led to another. We started kissing on each other. We went to the room. We had sex. I was thirsty.
Did you use protection?
No. I got up, get something to drink in the kitchen. When I opened the fridge, I was naked.
There was a fiance? Mr. Gonzalez had a fiance and he allowed one thing to lead to another with a different woman other than his fiance? Just like Ms. Salvo's mother said, wow. We are all wowed about this incident. Mr. Gonzalez was acted like he got caught up in a bad situation. At least he wasn't drunk like Ms. Salvo claimed she was.
This testimony, it's incorrect.
Yes, Your Honor. The whole part 6 times. Good, so why would I keep going?
So, Gonzalez, one time.
Yes.
The sex was protected or intention that sex beautiful Amaya.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Salvo claims she wasn't completely aware of the intimate session at first, but now she knows Mr. Gonzalez wasn't even that good in bed, and that was enough reason for her not to keep that kind of intimacy going with him. That's fair, but Ms. Salvo really did seem like she was aware of her surroundings when it happened, and there was another man within the window of conception.
So now, is that the only reason you excluded Amaya looked Hispanic and not black?
She has too much of him. She looks way too much. The shape of his eyebrows, that's him. Her nose. I have a picture that I can show you. They're just.
You're holding, ma'am?
It's a picture of my daughter with her one dimple.
Jerome.
One dimple similarity doesn't make the cut, but never say never. Ms. Salvo believes the other man couldn't be her baby's father because her baby resembles Mr. Gonzalez. And to Ms. Salvo, that's enough reason for her to know Mr. Gonzalez is her baby's biological father.
Well, you know the only way to true is a DNA.
Yes, ma'am.
Test your ex at all?
I did test him.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, and
he's not the father.
Oh yeah, that's the right thing to do, a DNA test. Well, Ms. Salvo said the DNA test result proved that the other man wasn't the father of her child. So she's supposedly left with Mr. Gonzalez considering Ms. Salvo didn't have any other sexual encounter with another man.
I took my best friend over there 5 days later. Get in the car with my best friend. He's Hispanic. He tells me, what you mean you gotta show me something? He showed me naked pictures of Ashley like this.
That was a vivid description of the photo in question. Okay, there's a possibility Mr. Gonzalez's friend is one of the potential fathers of Ms. Salvo's child. Ms. Salvo refuted the claim, saying it's a lie as she doesn't even send her naked photos to anyone. Well, the testimony was that he took the photos himself with his own phone, so...
One night I was over there and I got my hair done and she went out to the mall to, I don't know, supposedly go do something at the mall. She took in hours, and I'm like, I'm not just gonna call me, and she asked me why I left, because I felt like I was getting played. He went to meet up with a guy.
And you know that for a fact?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Gonzalez said he left because he felt he was getting played. Sorry about that, but thought Mr. Gonzalez had a fiance? Mr. Gonzalez is talking like he deserves any form of loyalty when he's also cheating. Anyway, Ms. Salvo seemed to have had many guys in her pocket, but what's important right now is to find out about the paternity of the little girl in the mix.
Mr. Gonzalez, it has been determined that you are not the father.
Excuse me, Your Honor. Can I still come around and help her out if I can? Because daughter, she's still gonna be my daughter.
Marriage can be tricky because what is perceived as a revenge attack on one's partner can land someone in the biggest trouble of their life. Whether it's a man contracting STDs or a woman being unsure about who her exact baby daddy is. It's not so much of a safe zone, but let's see how this case goes.
Ms. Martin, you admit to making a huge mistake around the time you conceived your daughter, Royal Blue.
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim that one moment of weakness will cost you your fiance if you cannot prove today that he fathered your child. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Martin's mistake is about to cost her everything if the DNA test result comes back saying her husband didn't father her baby. Mr. Pinner says he already has 1 foot outside of the marriage, and whatever the result says will finalize his decision.
Me and Romeo have no relationship because of the paternity of our daughter. I made one mistake back in the past that he knew about. And
The relationship is in turmoil.
Yes, he completely moved out of the bedroom. Like, he lives in my living room.
Mr. Pinner, you have one step out the door. You've already moved out the bedroom.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Martin says Mr. Pinner won't let go of the mistake she made a while ago, while Mr. Pinner claims that's not the main reason, but rather Ms. Martin's lies. Mr. Pinner already moved out of the bedroom because he doesn't want to share the bed with a dishonest person.
What was the mistake?
That I had a party one night and I had sex with another person. I did the very next morning, true, and he's
Not true
acting
at all.
like I never told him that.
Found out
You are
that she was
lying.
pregnant a month later. She said, well,
No.
I have something to tell you. I had sex with somebody, I had a party, and I woke up and I don't
Romeo, really?
know who the guy
No.
was.
There's so much talking going on, but at least we can deduce the mistake that was made. Ms. Martin had sex with another man, which she doesn't have a good memory of exactly how it happened, and Mr. Pinner thinks that's irresponsible of her. Yeah, maybe, but Ms. Martin can be let off the hook. That shit happens. Mr. Pinner also thinks the date is off since Ms. Martin allegedly told him long after it happened and not the day after, like she said.
Did you tell him the truth?
The day
What
after.
did you say?
I told him that, I said, Romeo, last night I ended up having a party. I know we got heavily intoxicated, and I know as a woman, agreed to move forward.
That's not true, Your Honor. It's true that I agreed to move forward after finding out that you was so irresponsible to have sex with somebody.
Ms. Martin is standing her ground that she did tell Mr. Pinner about the incident in which he even agreed to move forward and put the mess behind them. However, Mr. Pinner also supports the claim that he agreed to move forward, but what Mr. Pinner can't get past is Ms. Martin's irresponsibility for not knowing who she even had a thing with.
I know when it was.
So I don't know if she's mine or not.
But I'm not. But I'm telling you the truth. I told you the truth then, and I'm gonna tell you the truth now.
Why
I've
would I
never lied
believe
about
you?
anything.
Why would I right after with which I know you never
The
did.
next
You told
morning,
me a
I had to
month
hunt him
later.
down. I called his mother, where he claimed he was staying, and I haven't seen Romeo in a few days. So
Mr. Pinner does not for certain who exactly fathered the child in question. Ms. Martin said she had a sexual encounter with Mr. Pinner 2 days after her drunken night experience with the other unknown man. This puts both men on the list of potential fathers, and hence, the reason they are in paternity court at the moment.
That started this, or you all were already unwrapped, comes in, that just destroys the rest of what was there.
when I moved to Wisconsin with him, prior to me even moving, he was coming home. But then when we get up there, when I have no family, I have no anybody, nobody. So I'm like, I'm dependent on him
That's not
for
true.
days.
Ms. Martin says Mr. Pinner caused the situation as he moved her to a new city and went MIA. Ms. Martin claims she had to look for a way to get by, which led to her making friends and partying. Mr. Pinner counters her claim, saying she was the one that made him leave the house, as she wasn't her usual self after giving birth. Whew, this is a tough one. Neither one of these two want to agree they both messed up their marriage, so okay.
Listen, let's not label the baby because she's innocent.
Of course, of course.
Let's not label her because the only thing illegitimate here is the way you all have operated in this relationship.
Mr. Pinner is doing a great job at distracting everyone from his own faults. Mr. Pinner just casually says, I did something wrong in a second, and moves on so fast to talk about Miss Martin's mistakes and actions for minutes like he didn't start the mess. That's not fair, Mr. Pinner.
And trying, and you slapping
But
it
you
down.
lied to me
me. I did.
And
whatever. Don't
you
keep
made me
playing
feel
it.
stupid. And to me, I said that was
Whatever.
irresponsible.
How do you feel like she made you feel stupid?
She started partying, going out, and being a different person. I was trying to move forward. I don't want a bunch of guys around my child.
Mr. Pinner keeps playing the victim, and one can only applaud Ms. Martin for her patience at this point. Ms. Martin's action also wasn't right, but that woman left her job, family, and her town to move with Mr. Pinner. That has got to count for something. That's a very big decision, but Mr. Pinner doesn't seem to care so much about that, and he keeps acting like he was so perfect in the relationship. It's time to get the result to know if this relationship can still be fixed or it's over.
Mr. Pinner, you are the father.
It's
I'm
over.
sorry. I'm so
It's
sorry.
finally over.
I'm so sorry. From the bottom of my heart, I'm so sorry.
This has been so hard.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I just
Can I give her a
want to
hug,
move
Your Honor?
forward. It's all right.